If you use the wrong Facebook ad objective, your ad campaign will almost certainly fail. It's essential that you choose the right one and the right one for your specific business and the strategy that you're using. In this video, I'm going to explain the various options and which ones you should use. So to demonstrate this, I'm in an example Facebook ad account. I'm in Ads Manager. I'm going to go ahead and click on this green plus create button. And then we can see that the first thing we need to select, obviously other than buying type, is our campaign objective. Now we have 6 Facebook ad campaign objectives. We used to have more options. There are still a few ad accounts that have this previous setup, but the vast majority has this new. And I want to take you through step by step on which ones you should use. Now there's a lot going on here. I'm not going to go through them in order because I don't think that's how people typically start with their Facebook ads. So I'm going to go through in the order that they usually do when beginners start experiencing with Facebook ads. Also, that's probably more useful for people, but nonetheless, we are going to cover all 6 and I'll explain which ones you want to use and which ones you want to avoid in specific scenarios. So before we go through each ad objective individually, you'll need to understand why they are so important in the first place. Your ad objective is going to determine how your Facebook ad and Instagram ad campaigns are going to be optimized. Basically what you're trying to get out of it, right? So for example, I'll touch a bit more on this later in this video, but if you select sales, Meta is going to try and get you as many sales as possible. If you select traffic, Meta is going to try and send you as many people to your website as possible. They might sound the same thing, but they are not, trust me. And this is where people go wrong. So by selecting the wrong one, you're effectively saying to Meta, go out and get me this thing that I'm looking for, when that thing might not be the most beneficial objective for your business. So that's absolutely essential that you go and get the right one, that you have Meta's machine learning and AI system working in your favor, trying to get you the best results possible so that things that actually matter for your business is on the point and as actually set as objectives. All right, all that to say, let's go through the various options. So the place where most Facebook advertisers start is traffic. And people think I'll just get as much traffic as possible and send as many people from Facebook and Instagram to my website as possible, and then they'll go on and become a lead, and then they'll go on and purchase if I got an e-commerce store, for example. But that rarely happens. I'll explain a bit more about that later on, but that's what I see that beginners usually tend to do that when they're starting out. However, that's not what I would recommend most Facebook advertisers do. You typically want to use traffic in one of 2 scenarios. The first one would be if you genuinely just want traffic. So you want someone to click through, read through a blog post, or you just want them to consume a piece of content. All you really want there is just traffic. You may look to retarget them later on and try to, convince them to purchase or become a lead, etc., etc. But if you just want traffic, you just want a sort of consumption like a blog post, then you might want to use traffic. The other scenario is if you're looking to send people to your Instagram profile. So if you select traffic, then at the ad set level, you can send people directly to your Instagram profile as opposed to your website or landing page or, something like that. And you want to take advantage of being able to send people directly to your Instagram profile, which would make a lot of sense if you're looking to turn your profile into somewhat like of a sales page where it's got like client testimonials and story highlights, demonstrating products and services, all that sort of things to help get people converted. And if you're doing that, then again, you will use traffic because you want to take advantage of that feature where you can send people directly to your Instagram profile just to solely generate traffic, where you will later on convert them on your sales page or Instagram page, so to say. Now, on the other hand, if you're looking for traditional sales like an e-commerce business, or you're looking for leads via someone's website or landing page, you'll almost never use traffic. You'll be looking to use sales or leads as an objective, which I'll get into that later on in this video. But before that, I want to touch on the next ad objective I want to talk about, which is the engagement. So this is the second most used objectives by beginners. So just to tell you a bit more about this, this is designed to get you more engagement on Facebook and Instagram and designed to get social interaction. So things like likes, other reactions, comments, shares on your ads or on your Facebook profiles and Instagram profiles. It's basically just trying to get people to engage. That's the idea behind it. Now, in my opinion, people think that if they get people to engage with their ads, they'll go through and become a lead, or, this is how they generate traffic and then they become, buyers and stuff like that. No, this objective is solely for getting people to engage with ads. The algorithm might go out and get you a lot of engagement on that post, but these people are not specifically qualified buyers who are actually interested in your product, but just under that umbrella that are more likely to engage than others. Now, that said, there are some circumstances where we would use engagement. If we just genuinely want engagement, we're trying to, let's say, deepen a relationship between the business and the followers that they already have, we might use engagement in that scenario. where you run an ad campaign specifically for those people to get them to, just to view a video or engage with it, comment, etc., etc. Okay, we want to use engagement in that scenario. The other scenario would be, again, to take advantage of some specific scenarios and features where we can send people to certain places, but only with the engagement objective. Just like how with traffic, we can send people directly to our Instagram profile. With engagement, we can send people directly to our Facebook page. Again, if you're trying to build a Facebook page, trying to get page likes and page followers, then that's what we want to do. And we will do that for businesses sometimes, because if you're trying to advertise a product or service and you've only got like 48 followers on your page, it's quite difficult to kind of establish that social credibility and look credible and authentic. So often we will write a quick campaign to boost up the following before we actually go on and advertise for that specific business. And then a recent option that's been added for some Facebook advertisers at this point, but not all, unfortunately, is the ability to send people directly to a Facebook group. So again, if you want to boost your Facebook group, you can directly run engagement objective campaigns for that. But those really are the only two scenarios in which we're going to use engagement. If you want people to take the next step directly from the ad, purchase, inquire, etc., we're not going to use engagement once again. A lot of advertisers do, and I think that's a mistake. All right, so that brings us to the next objective I want to talk about, which is awareness. This is where a reasonable amount of new Facebook advertisers will start. They think that they got a new business, a new brand, and they want to get their name out there, and they're just, they just want people to know about them. So they want to get a brand awareness. But this is always what I say. Every piece of advertising is brand awareness raising anyways, because paid ads doesn't do anything else just to serve the sole purpose of you getting more eyeballs on your brand. I also think that unless you have a really large budget, the idea behind just getting yourself out there to somewhat, gather brand awareness is just flawed. You're not going to be able to spend enough to get enough impressions or to, to reach critical mass or to really develop any sort of significant brand awareness, to be honest with you. But for a lot of businesses where their budgets aren't big and they don't go too far, as in, look, we are spending this amount this month and we really need to get some sales or leads coming in from this, otherwise we can't afford to keep doing this, I don't think that awareness is usually the best way to go. You would be better off with using other options that I'll discuss in a minute. Now, with all that said, there's one big example where we'll exactly use awareness objective, and that's when we were using my omnipresent content strategy, and that typically where we're taking a group of people, usually a warm audience, and we're putting ads in front of them again and again and again, taking various points, things like, delivering value, demonstrating how a product or service works, client testimonials, and all sorts of stuff that we know that helps people, take the buying decision and helps people go from not knowing what we actually do to be able to ready to convert. Now, it's a super slow burning process. It's very effective, but it does take time, usually at least like a couple of months to see some results. It's only sustainable for certain businesses, but nonetheless, it's very effective. So in that case, we are specifically using awareness type campaigns. Now, I think especially for beginners and for most advertisers that want immediate results or, close to immediate results, that's probably not the best place to start. So that gets us onto the next two objectives, which are probably the most used ones with advanced marketers, that are leads and sales. So most of the Facebook ad campaigns that we run are going to be using the leads or the sales campaign objectives, and very simply how we can choose between the two is which one you really want. What do you actually looking to get out of the campaign? Are you looking to get more direct sales, or are you looking to get more leads? So just to help you a bit more about this, are you advertising a service-based business where the eventual conversion is going to take place not online? So let's say you're advertising a service where someone inquires, they book a call or they book a free survey and they book a free quote. In that specific scenario, you want to be generating leads. With sales, that's going to cover e-commerce businesses, anywhere where you can get a direct checkout. Let's say if you're advertising an event and people can purchase tickets, you're going to use the sales objectives as far as you can directly track that sales from the website online. Now, to use leads or sales, it's very important that you have the Meta Pixel installed so you're able to track those actions. That is how you can see the results that you're generating. It's also how Meta can optimize your campaigns. Remember in the beginning, I said how important it is to get Meta's machine and learning process and AI process on your side, helping you out. Well, to do that, Meta needs to know what a sale looks like. They need to know what a lead looks like to be able to get out there and, work accordingly. So make sure that you've got the Meta Pixel installed properly, to which I leave a link in the description below for you to a video that shows you specifically on how to do that. So I would say that somewhere between 80 and 90% of all the campaigns we run are going to be sales or lead campaigns. And when you select those options, there are then further options at the ad set level when it comes to the destination. So for example, if you go ahead and select leads, and click continue, and then we can jump to the ad set level, we can see that the default is instant form. So that's actually not taking people off your website. It's keeping people within Facebook and Instagram, presenting them with a lead form and instant form where they can submit their information. You can then contact them and look to progress them through the sales process. But you can send people directly to Messenger to chat with you on Instagram. There's a number of different options here. So that's just something to be aware of when you're selecting the leads objective, that you have as an option different conversion locations. It's not just sending people through the website, as some people tend to think, particularly when they're not familiar with all the nuances of conversions, locations, campaign objectives, and things like that. And then jumping back quickly to our campaign objective list, we also got app promotion, which is very simply great for app installs, or if you want to directly advertise to people that have already installed the app and get them to take a specific action, like signing up or taking an app purchase, as you can also run campaigns that are optimized that way as well. So now that we've covered the 6 ad objectives in a bit of detail, I just want to reiterate and really emphasize how important it is that you get the right one here. If you want leads, go for leads. If you want direct sales, go for sales. That's the most important message that I want to get across in this video, because I see a lot of advertisers thinking, hey, I'll just get more brand awareness and I'll send a bunch of traffic to my website and then they'll become leads and then they buy, and then all that happens in a bit and within that specific objective. And that might sound good in theory, but that doesn't work in practice at all. Meta's machine learning process, their optimization system are so good at getting what you want that if you want to go for traffic, and you will go for traffic, they will get you traffic, but those people will not necessarily be buyers or qualified leads, so to say. And that might sound weird, especially if you're new to Facebook ads, but I promise you that it's not the same thing and it does happen. So just really important, don't try to game the system, don't try to be clever. Don't think you'll get engagement and then you'll get so much social proof on the ad that it will perform really well, then it will generate loads of sales. No, if you want sales, go directly for sales objective. Now, there are scenarios where you want to use other strategies I've talked about, things like omnichannel presence, the Instagram profile method, and that's when you want to use different ad objectives. But just be really clear and intentional upfront of what your actual objective is, of what you want to get out of that campaign, and then choose the objective accordingly. Now, this is super important. There are some really important other things I need to mention when it comes to Facebook ad objectives. So selecting the right Facebook ad objectives is super important, but you can undo that good work if you use the wrong performance goal. So let me explain. So if I go ahead and select leads and click continue, and then we'll go ahead and jump on the ad set level, if you just quickly change the form from instant forms to website, because that will change the performance goal option, and we'll scroll down, we'll see that the default here, the performance goal is maximize number of conversions. That's exactly what we want, right? We're tracking the leads of our website. We want as many of that type of conversion as possible. But if you go ahead and change this performance goal from maximize number of conversions to maximize number of link clicks, maybe maximize number of landing page views, this is going to function exactly the same way as a traffic objective campaign that also got the performance goal of maximize number of link clicks. And you're not going to get any benefit of actually optimizing for leads and having Meta's AI system try and get you as many leads as possible if you go ahead and undo the good work by selecting the right campaign objective, but selecting the wrong performance goal. So just be very clear that if you're going after leads or sales, it's very important that the performance goal, not just the ad campaign objective, is designed to get you leads, sales, etc. And you'll see that there are different performance goals for different campaign objectives, but just be very clear that whatever you've selected matches up with what you actually want. Another thing to quickly mention about ad objective is that you can't change the objective of a campaign that's already been launched and running. You'll have to recreate a new campaign. I would also be wary about duplicating an existing campaign and changing the ad objective. Like if you take a traffic campaign, you would think, oh, I shouldn't be running traffic, I should be actually running like a lead campaign or a sales campaign, and you duplicate a traffic campaign, and now you try and change the ad objective before it goes live, then you might mess up some of the other settings. Now, using the right ad objective is essential to Facebook ad success, but if you want fantastic results from Facebook ads, there's a lot of other things that need to get right as well. I'll show you exactly on how to do that right in this video here. In this video, I provide a comprehensive step-by-step tutorial on setting up Facebook ad campaigns, as well as establishing all the necessary assets you need to start running efficient ads. So go ahead and check that out, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Cheers.